Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you a game between Magnus Carlsen, current world champion, and Viswanathan, former world champion. The game was played in 27 December 2017 in the World Rapid Championship round 9. Let's see the game. White started with d4 and Black replied with knight to f6, c4, putting another pawn in the center, and e6. Black wants to play the Nimzo Indian defense if White continues with knight to c3 and bishop to b4, pinning the knight, and we have the Nimzo Indian. And White continues with e3, a system that is known as the Botvinnik system. Black king is saved and bishop to d3, another developing move looking at h7 pawn, d5 and a3, asking the bishop he wants to take the knight or to retreat. And Black takes, giving a check, and b takes on c3. White has double pawns on the c file. D takes on c4, making the bishop to move one more time. Bishop takes and c5, striking in the center. Knight to f3, another developing move, preparing short castle. And queen to c7 threatens to take on d4 and then take the bishop. That's why in the game the bishop went back to e2. b6, intending to put the light square bishop on the long diagonal, and bishop to d2. The last minor piece is developed, and bishop to d7. Short castle, white king is safe, knight bd7. With this move, Black finishes opening, the king is safe, rooks are connected, and all other minor pieces are developed. c4. White tries to open the dark square bishop. In the middle game, Black should start an attack, and he should attack White weaknesses, but for the moment White has no weaknesses. That's why in the game Black improved the position of his rook with rook a to c8, rook to c1. The white rook is on the same file with Black queen, rook f to d8. Both Black rooks are centralized, and queen to b3. With this move, White finishes opening. Rooks are connected, king is saved, and all other minor pieces are developed. Knight to g4, an attacking move that threatens to take the knight and deliver mate on h2. The bishop can take the knight and the queen can deliver mate on h2. g3, defending against the mate threat and creating some light square weaknesses around white king. Knight g to f6. The knight comes back, preventing d5 from white. Rook f to d1, the last piece come into the game, insisting on pushing d5. Knight to e4, jumping into the center, controlling some squares and allowing the other knight to come to f6, freeing the rook from d8 to defend against the push. Knight to e1, the knight goes back, intending to kick the knight with f3. Another way was to attack the knight from e4 with knight to d2. And here Black retreated his knight voluntarily to d6 without any provocation. Black idea is to block the pawn from d5 with the knight. d5, e takes on d5, and c takes on d5. And now Black attacks the queen with c4, vacating c5 square for the knight to jump. Queen to c2 and b5, defending the pawn from c4. Knight to g2 and knight to c5. The knight is looking to jump to b3, d3 or e4. Knight to f4. Finally the knight comes into the game, defending the pawn one more time. Queen to e7. The queen is placed on a better square, and together with the light square bishop might take advantage of the light square weaknesses in white camp. It would be best for Black to exchange the light square bishop in order to take advantage of the light square weaknesses. In the game, White continued with bishop to g4, attacking the rook to c7, and queen to c3, threatening mate on g7. f5, defending against the mate and attacking the bishop to f3, and rook c to d7, doubling on the d file and looking to open the diagonal for the bishop. Queen to b4, the knight is attacked, and knight to b3, attacking the rook, and knight to e6, jumping forward, attacking the rook from d8 and the pawn from g7 twice with the knight and the bishop. Another way was to move the rook from the attack, this one. In the game we have knight takes on c1, rook takes on c1. In this position black cannot move the rook to c8 because g7 pawn drops. That's why we have knight to c8, try to exchange the queens. The drawback of this move is that the knight is no longer protecting the b5 pawn, and white grabs the pawn with queen takes on b5. But white can take on d5, giving the exchange for the bishop, making the bishop very strong with rook takes on d5. That's why in the game we have rook takes on d5, bishop takes on d5, and rook takes on d5, attacking the queen, and queen to b4. Black cannot take the knight because the bishop is hanging. That's why in the game first he protected the bishop and then pawn with knight to d6. The bishop is protected by the knight, and now black threatens to take the knight. What should be the right square for the knight to retreat? There are 3 squares that the knight can go and not to lose itself for free. The 3 options are for the knight to go to f4, to e4, or to c5. Let's see them one by one. The first option is knight to d4. In this case, the queen can go to e4, threatening to take the knight and deliver mate with the queen on g2. King to f1, trying to run, c3, attacking the bishop, and also opening the diagonal for the light square bishop to give a check on a6. Queen takes on c3, queen to h1 check, king to e2, bishop to a6 check, king to d2, queen to g2, threatening to take the pawn, king to c2, queen to e4 check, not allowing the queen to go to b1, king to d1, knight to c4, queen to c2, trying to exchange the queens, queen to h1 check, king to e2, knight to d6 check from the bishop, king to d2, and knight to e4 check. And here white queen has to take the knight, otherwise is mated. So after queen takes and queen takes, black is winning. Let's see the second option with knight to f4. So the knight goes to f4. As we can see, the rook is under attack, and if black tries, like in the game, to play queen to e4, the knight takes the rook, the queen takes, and again the king tries to run, and white is fine in this position. And if black tries to check white king, this is not working because white can get better position after king to e2, queen to f3 check, king to e1, queen to h1, king to d2, queen to d5 check, bishop to d4, knight to e4 check, king to e1, and black attack is not working. So this knight to f4 move is a good move for white. Let's see the last option from white, and this is the move played in the game, and knight to c5. If you want to see what's the drawback of this move, you can pause the video and find it by yourself. The problem with this move is that black can use the long diagonal threatening mate, so he can take the knight with the rook and play queen to e4. So in the game, black took the knight, and after the queen recaptured, queen to e4, threatening mate on g2. And in this position, Carlsen resigned because after a series of checks, black king would arrive on d2, and the knight from d6 can give a check, forking the king and the queen. Let's see that possible line. King to f1, trying to run, queen to h1 check, king to e2, bishop to f3 check, king to d2, knight to e4, forking the king and the queen. After king to c2, queen takes on c1 check, bishop takes on c1, and knight takes on c5. In this position, we can see that black is a knight up. Next day, Anand managed to win the tiebreak against Vladimir Fedoseev and became the Rapid World Champion for 2017. Since today is the last day of 2017, I wish you all Happy New Year and 2018 to bring us all the best in the world. I hope that you learned something from this game. Please watch other games from my channel, and if you like this video clip, click the like button and subscribe. See you next year. Bye.